£72,000. Yeah, thought that might kind of spike your interest. Unfortunately, we're not on a £72,000 Renault Megane today. Just a £65,000 Renault Megane. And the reason why it doesn't have the full-blown, almost unbelievable price, as if £65,000 wasn't unbelievable enough for a little French hatchback. The reason why is because it doesn't have ceramic brakes, but it has everything else. And that does include the much talked about £12,000 carbon wheels, cue a bit of B-roll. So now we've got the headline figures out of the way, and we just digest that for a second. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a Renault Megane that costs £65,000 and held the lap record around the Nürburgring, for everyone that's interested, of 7 minutes 40 seconds. It did lose its crown to the Honda Civic FK8, but there is a bit of a cloud around that. Apparently that car was running more boost and had a shorter ratio gearbox, so it may well have lost its crown undeservedly. However, we're not on the Nürburgring today. We're in Scotland and it's not raining, thank God. So let's just run over some of the basic stats. So this car has got, as near as makes no difference, 300 brake horsepower. Renault Sport have decided to ditch the 4Control, which is the rear wheel steering, which I have to admit I really enjoyed in the last Renault Megane RS280 and a 300 trophy, which we've had through the garage. There'll be a link to the RS280 at the end of this video. So I'll be very interested to see what the handling characteristics of this car how they've altered with the loss of the rear wheel steer. Now, it's probably not going to be the best environment to exercise the full ability of what is the most hardcore track focused hot hatch ever made, really. It really is. I have had the pleasure of quite recently driving a Golf GTI Club Sport S, not the Club Sport, the Club Sport S, the head-to-head contender with this car. So basically, same recipe, 0 back seats, as you can see, 300 brake horsepower, front wheel drive, limited slip diff, and stripped out to an absolute bare bones of a thing, as stripped out as could quite possibly be allowed for a road car. So we've got a 130 kilogram weight saving, which is a lot. I mean, that's like 2 relatively healthy passengers out of the car. We've got back windows, they don't go down because all the gubbins, all the window regulators, they've all been taken out. We've got a bit of popping already coming out the back. We've got no carpet in the back, in the luggage area, that's just all plastic. We've got no digital climate control, we've just got the regular climate. To be fair, I think that's what's in the normal car anyway. But let's not forget that the good old Renaults, they're usually quite Spartan on the inside anyway, and this is no different. However, while we're talking about the interior, we've got to give these seats a special mention. If you have ever been lucky enough to park your bum in a BMW M3 CSL seat and you enjoyed that, you are in for a real treat. These seats are up there with those bucket seats. Got Alcantara steering wheel, which it feels to me like it could have been a little bit smaller. The gear change, the gear selector position is fine. I still just think it's a little bit plasticky, and I do prefer the Golf shift. Pedals and everything are all nicely positioned in front of you, and you can heel toe quite readily if that's what you fancy. The centre console, unfortunately, as all trophy R's were based on the pre-facelift, we've got big slabs of grey plastic, which is a wee bit disappointing. But that's not what you buy. That's not why you buy this car. You buy this car to do this. We're on an Olin's damper, and it's got one-way adjustable, which, to be fair, for most track day enthusiasts will be plenty. But when you've got 2 and 3-way adjustments, you need a full day to set it up for one track, and most of the time you just end up in a bit of a pickle. So we get one way to make it stiffer or softer, and that's it. The previous owner had it set up as a nice halfway house, and I have to say we're on not a bad road. We're on the A70. It's not too rutty and bumpy. There is some nice compressions just to exercise the suspension, and it's firm. There is no doubt about it, but it keeps its composure really, really nice. It does that in the way that only a lightweight car can. You don't feel like it's having to work harder to manage any mass. There's no second bounce in the car. The change of direction is almost what I would describe as telepathic. We've got a titanium we'll go with Akrapovic for this video. Titanium Akrapovic exhaust system, which is doing all its cracking and popping out the back. But given the fact that there's no back seats in it, you would think that it would be a fair bit louder than it actually is, but it's just right. So anyway, we're on a nice road here. I will be quiet and give you a wee demo. Shift light there. Right on cue. The front end grip on boost is magical, and it's not scrabbling for grip. There's hardly any torque steer, which is nice. It's easier to manage. Just chuck it. We've got the car in race, so there's no traction control getting in the way of the fun. Absolutely devouring this road, and it is far from perfect, but it just lets you get on with the job in hand, which is absolutely lapping up this amazing car. Bit ABS there. I'm glad that didn't turn off. But that is just how much this car gets under your skin. You just want to go as hard as the car will let you, because it doesn't seem to matter what you do in the corners. As long as you've got the boost wound on, it will just turn in, but then you don't actually realise just how fast you're actually going. Oof, give myself a wee bit of a fright there. Give me a second, guys, I need to get my composure back. Yeah. Do you ever get in a car that it just eggs you to go on harder and harder and harder, because this car is so good at egging you on? You do need to bring yourself into check a wee bit. So dial it back a wee bit and just calm the nerves. I think we need to go back and do that again. Yes, my mouth's gone a bit dry. I did give myself a bit of a fright there. It just gives you so much confidence that before you realise it, you're just going far too quick, especially if it's a road you're not entirely familiar with. So we'll give it a wee second, let the traffic get ahead, and then and I suppose we better try it again. Okay, let's go. But it's not like absolutely ballistic in a straight line, but it's just the way that you can carry the speed out of the corner. I'll try not to get too excited on the way back down and talk you through it with a bit more aplomb. You know, I'm probably going down a gear earlier than I really need to. Yep, this is it. So we're on a Continental Sport Contact 7, which I believe was OEM for the road to be the road wheels. Yeah, I can't say that I'm really missing the four-wheel steer. Brakes are mega. Just turn in. You do need to remind yourself you're driving a 45 Megane, and maybe just to dial it back a wee bit because we don't want to be damaging anything. Mega campers on this road. As you can see, we're getting chucked about. Lots of blind crests. You think that you're going to bottom out or it's going to hit a bump stop, but it doesn't. It just, I wouldn't quite say it soaks it up, but it manages the bumps incredibly well. Yeah, I feel quite warm now. Guys, I know that we really need to take something like this on a track day to find out just how good it is, but the beautiful thing about having a car that is a track ready hot hatch is that it's not just a track day car. It's a Sunday, it's a weekend warrior. You know, you can drive to the track, but you can take the fun route to get to the track. Once you're there, you can do you can lap it all day. I mean, this has got a 5-year warranty as well, so we've still got manufacturer's warranty left to run on it. Then once you're all finished, get your track wheels off, put them in the back, you know, put the ratchet straps down, tighten them up, and then enjoy yourself all the way back again. You don't have to. The fun doesn't stop when the track day is over. The fun doesn't stop, you know, when you're rolling your track day car onto the trailer and then towing it for the boring drive home. You can enjoy this car on the way there and on the way back. That was a really, really challenging road. Loads of cambers, loads of ruts and bumps, and literally it was full send, almost a little bit too heavily sent at one point, if I'm being perfectly honest. And it just absolutely loved it, almost as much as me. So guys, if I know there'll be a tiny percentile of people that have not just in a position to buy a £45,000 Renault Megane track car, but you've also got to really, really want it. Anybody that looks at this car and thinks, it's just a Renault, it's just a fancy Renault, you just don't have enough petrol in your veins to appreciate just how special and how capable a fast Renault is. Never mind a special limited production fast Renault with no back seats. It's absolutely epic and I absolutely love it. But the question remains, this had a Golf Club Sport S, and I think just for the pure lunacy and the standoutness and the fact that these are all pumped up, it's got to be the Megane for me. The Club Sport S was an absolute, it was such a precision device, and it was utterly ballistic. Like, I would actually say it felt quicker than this, but I love all the graphics, and I love the red wheels, and I love the wide arches, and I love the fact that people think that it's just a Renault. In actual fact, it would probably wipe the floor with stuff. I was going to say stuff twice the price, but you know what? On a track, it might well just do that. So guys, thanks very much. My name's Stephen. This has been a Jimmy Glen car review. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you'd like to consider subscribing to the channel, that would be absolutely amazing. You can do that by clicking this wee button down here. If you would like to see more car reviews, you can do that by clicking onto the website. Failing that, I will put a video up here that I think you might find interesting, given the fact that you've just watched a Renault Megane Trophy R video, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.